What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have a quick little update, a little bit of Lions news. Some former Lions who have now signed with other teams, and we got a weird one. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Yo, let me hop in here real quick and give a shout out to my man, Dr. Dan Murrow? I don't know. See what I did, though? Stop. My man got the Dan Campbell kneecap soup shirt. I'm not wearing the Dan Campbell kneecap soup shirt. I was wearing it earlier today. Y'all saw it earlier today. He bought the shirt. You see it on the screen. I appreciate you, my guy. If you get merch, send it to me, man. Send me the picture. That way, if I missed it, send it again because I might miss it. Also, by the way, I thought I'd throw this in there. They're counting the Michael Brockers trade inside the Stafford and Goff trade, which is official today. So, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, we got some Detroit Lions news. Plus, also, not a rumor, but a report. But it's not actually a signing yet. Let's touch on that first because that's what everybody wants to know about. And that is Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay is going to visit with the New York Giants. And they both have mutual interests, is what we are being told. So they're going to have a visit with him first. But I see people all over Twitter, Giants fans, do not let this guy leave the building without a contract. I get it. I think this is where he signs. I just have a feeling the Giants are going to get him. You know, last season they showed interest during the season. It was like, we're not trading Golladay. I just feel like, you know, they had interest back then. They're going to have interest now. They really want to bring this guy in, I feel like. So they're just going to kind of go through it, make sure everything's good. They probably got to check out the hip a little bit, you know. I'm assuming you want to see how he runs and, you know, how he really feels about the environment. Because this is a big signing for them. But I feel like Kenny Golladay will ultimately get a contract with the New York Giants. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? I know some people were kind of leaving out hope, hoping that he'd come back. I think it's very unlikely. But you never know. You know, nothing's a done deal yet. However, it does sound like he's going to be in New York. So we'll see. We will see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But we got some other news. Now, the first one came a lot earlier today, and this was Justin Coleman signing a one-year, $2.75 million deal with the Miami Dolphins. That's actually not that expensive. I think that's a nice signing for Miami. Look, we talked about him, you know, when we released him, we kind of dove into it, so I won't do that in this video. But Justin Coleman, he's a competitor. You know you're going to get a competitor out of him. You know you're going to get an athletic player that can play some zone, but you got to use him as a slot cornerback. So he gets a nice little prove-it deal. He's not super old, and he could prove to the, you know, Dolphins that, you know, he deserves to be there. And the Dolphins, they're not a bad team. We saw last year, I mean, they missed the playoffs, but they were a good team. They were going somewhere, right? They were building towards something. So the Dolphins got some potential, and I think Justin Coleman does as well. Coleman might be better suited in a zone scheme, honestly. We'll see. I know Lions are probably going to be more man-heavy next season, so that could be an issue. But he's a pretty good tackler. You know, he could line up at different spots. Like I said, he's a competitor. He just, you know, he struggled a little bit last season. He had some injuries he had to deal with last season. For the Lions, it just made sense for them to save the money. And also, they're likely going to go bring in some young guys that they can potentially look to develop. So the Lions decided to release him, who signed a gigantic contract, 4 years, $36 million when we brought him in. And now the Dolphins get him for 1 year, $2.75 million. I think that's really a nice opportunity for both teams here. Obviously, Justin Coleman gets another chance with a pretty good team. So congratulations, Justin. Go do your thing, man. Go do your thing, Justin. You know, I've never disliked Justin. I thought Coleman was always just a cool player to watch. I loved him punching the ball. I mean, there's nothing better than that. I really like Justin Coleman, though. So definitely wishing him the best of luck. And obviously for the Dolphins, I think this is a really nice price tag for him. I think this is a really nice prove-it deal for Justin Coleman. Now, the other news is one I almost don't want to acknowledge because it just doesn't feel right. This one's like, I wasn't mentally prepared for this to actually happen. You know, there was always that thought, okay, Kenny Golladay could be somewhere else. He's probably going to be somewhere else because we're here financially. I get it. Romeo, you know, I really wanted him back. I didn't want him gone, but I was like, okay, I get it if he's gone. You know, I had myself mentally prepared for things, especially after Stafford was gone. But this one, not really. You know, I just never pictured this happening. And Dom Muhlbach, where the heck is Dom Muhlbach? Don, when are we re-signing Dom Muhlbach? I'm just going to say it. But anyways, Matt Prater has signed a 2-year deal with Arizona. Wow. Wow. Does not feel right. We are clearly going. It just feels weird. I don't know. Matt Prater he's just a lion. You know, he just feels like a lion to me. I never had a Matt Prater jersey. I never had a Matt Prater shirt, and you usually don't talk like this about your kicker, but he was just so big time for us. And obviously last season he struggled. So I understand it. I don't know how much money he got paid, but last season he struggled. It was his worst season, 75%, which was kind of what the other free agent kickers were hitting last season. You know, I went through them. But I mean, you don't get more clutch than that. He's got the longest field goal in NFL history at 64, but you just don't get more clutch than Matt Prater. He will miss every single bunny, but if it's the one that matters, the one that you need to win the game, you don't even need to watch. And honestly, I think this is, man, it's so weird. I don't like this, man. But anyways, Arizona, who he beat by his game-winning field goal. I remember that game because if you guys remember that game, remember how I turned around and I was like, I don't even need to watch it. Matt Prater's knocking this. I don't even need to watch it. I was just like, he's gonna make the field goal because I already know. I think he missed a field goal before that, but you already know he's knocking down that one. You already know. You already know what's happening. Or maybe that was the Atlanta game, but you already knew, man. That's who Matt Prater is. So they got a clutch kicker who's clearly coming off his worst season, but he's been a really reliable kicker over the years. I mean, he missed some extra points last year. He was 75%. Just seems sometimes a little bit unfocused, you know, missing some of the easier ones and making the hard ones. It was kind of strange, but he also wasn't knocking in the 50 plus like usual. I get it. You know, I do from the statistical standpoint of things. Now, Lions, you're thinking, what are we doing? Well, we got Matthew Wright, who we signed to a futures contract from Pittsburgh. Now, last season, which is the only stats we've seen him in the league, he was 4 for 4 on field goals, and he was 7 for 7 on extra points, and he knocked down 2 field goals from the range of 40 and 49. So that's pretty good. So statistically, he's done pretty well in a very, very small sample size he has in the NFL. So Lions could rock with him. Now, in college, his stats, 210 for 213 on extra points. That's good, but you go through his college numbers, 13 for 17, 19 for 22, 13 for 18, 12 for 40. I mean, not bad, or just not like, whoa, he made everything. I don't know. College just seems different. People struggle. But, you know, he's 24 years old. He's younger. So, I mean, this is an opportunity to have him for a while. If you look at the free agency market for kickers, there's really not I don't know if there's any obvious better options out here. Cody Parkey actually wasn't bad last year. He was 19 for 22. I know he had a really rough year with the Bears, though, in 2018. So we'll probably stay away from that. Zane Gonzalez, Dan Bailey, like, none of these guys are coming off that great season, which is why they're free agents. Randy Bullock, not too bad. Randy Bullock, maybe, if they want to do that, but I don't think they will. It doesn't seem like there's a clear upgrade in that. College, it doesn't necessarily seem like there's a clear upgrade either. College kicker that I think is out there is Jose Borregales? Jose Borregales? I think that's how you say his name. I don't know. He's from Miami, and he was 20 for 22, and he was, 2 for 2 from 50 plus. Making a 57-yard kick, 7 for 9 from 40 to 49, 37 for 37 on extra points. That seems like the best kicker. Evan McPherson is kind of behind him at Florida, who was 52 for 52 in his career, 17 for 22 on field goals, and he was 4 for 7 from 50 plus with a 55 long. But aside from that, I mean, none of those other options that you'll see as kickers are really that much better than Matthew Wright's stats. So Wright might be the Lions' best option unless they want to bring him to like UDFA to compete with him. They definitely could this offseason just see who wins the role. But there's also this rumor out there, now this pertains to the Detroit Lions, but some other teams as well. The Lions could be interested in trying to trade for quarterback Gardner Minshew from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take quarterback number 1. So they're probably not looking for Jared Goff in exchange. The rumors are they are looking for a 4th-round pick, but the Detroit Lions could be looking at a 6th or 7th pick. Who's the rumor? My man Austin. Shout out to Austin. He sent me that, and he's on top of this stuff. So believe my man Austin. That's my source right there. Hey, per sources, Austin. Shout out to Austin. Everybody, can we get a thank you, Austin, in the comments? Like, shout out to Austin, like maybe some birthday cake. I appreciate you, my guy. Hopefully you're watching this video. But Gardner Minshew. Now, what's interesting about this, he's only been playing in the league for 2 seasons, and his numbers are pretty solid, and he's not been on a very good Jacksonville team. I think there's a lot here. I mean, I haven't watched Gardner Minshew film like that, but I do think there is potential with Minshew Mania. The interesting thing about Gardner Minshew is that if the Lions did this, unless they trade away Goff, which I don't think will happen this offseason, then the Lions would kind of be taking away the backup quarterback option, which isn't a bad thing, but it just means the Lions wouldn't be able to move back because people are worried that the Lions could take a quarterback, which is not terrible because I think most of it would come from teams trying to jump other teams and using us as a landing spot, Carolina at number 8, because if we're willing to take a trade back, they may not believe we're taking a quarterback anyway. That's kind of the thought. I would be perfectly fine with Gardner Minshew as a backup. He's still in his rookie deal, so he's pretty darn cheap, and I think there is a lot of potential, and you're talking about a guy that can push and compete for a starting role. I got no issues with that. I'm fine with a young guy pushing for a starting role and fighting with our quarterback and making our guys better. I think there's a lot of talent here with Minshew, and guess what? You know, if after, you know, this season or maybe 2 seasons, maybe you decide that he's not your guy, maybe you decide Minshew is. I don't know. I mean, it would be an interesting dynamic to have those 2 guys because sometimes that doesn't work out, having 2 young quarterbacks, and you can kind of become a mess if you start going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I do think there's some potential here with Gardner. And when you look at his career stats, we'll just roll through them real quick. 37 touchdowns to only 11 picks, and that comes in what is that, 23 games? I mean, that's not bad. 63% completion percentage, 5,500 yards, of course, in 23 games, which isn't a ton. 93.1 passer rating. It's not bad numbers. It really isn't for playing for Jacksonville. So I'm just saying, if the Lions want to do this and they gave up a late pick to do it, which they could, because instead of just drafting someone, I'm fine with that. The only difference is, instead of having him locked up through his rookie deal for 4 years, like you would if you drafted someone, it would only be 2 years. But if you do like him, I mean, I got no issues with it. So yeah, we'll see if it happens. We'll see what comes out of this. But that's really interesting. But it would pretty much tell you that, yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars are taking a quarterback number 1. But, you know, it's just weird. I don't know. Just Matt Prater not being a Lion is strange. I'm kind of sad. This one's going to take a minute. This one's going to take a minute. Cardinals, you got a good one, man. Treat him right. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.